Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome everybody to tonight's matchup. I'm your host, Saminami, and we're going to get this started right away, as we're going to be heading over to Lijiang Tower. It's going to be the United States Naval Academy versus Stevenson University here. Stevenson's going to be on Team Red as the away team, while the Naval Academy will be Team Blue. So going to be really looking forward to how things play on out here in this best of 5 series. Without further ado, we're going to get right on into it here. Taking a look at our lineups, we're going to be seeing a bit of a mix between Brawl and Dive here. And we have the swap by Cracker Nuts over to the Mercy. I'm really curious what the decision is for this here, especially in this sort of indoors environment, because right now Stevenson on paper has the upper hand here, as long as they maintain a healthy close distance here. We're going to be seeing that close engagement here, the start, putting the pressure onto the back line here is going to be not Y2K, but overextends themselves there, unfortunately. So seeing a bit of trouble, you're going to have to see that Stevenson backs up from this engagement here as they're being pressured upon. Some really looking strong here from the Naval Academy right now. I mean, taking a look at how they're playing their distance, they're playing it forward. And between the two teams, there's a lot more spam being utilized here against Stevenson compared to the Naval Academy. I mean, Stevenson seems to be a little bit stuck out in the open here, and they need to figure out their positioning. Having to stay alive there, Immortality just protects them, as you're going to find Legend with that first kill there. Looking at for a potential play, as they're going to be starting to make their way forward here. Mercy goes into ult there, being able to keep the team alive, but Stevenson's already capped the point and turned it over in their favor. They're going to get this res off as they're coming on back, trying to see, can they get the remake? Yes sirree, they do get that remake in time, as Kamikazu is going to be trying to push in with the bomb, but the beat drop hits just right by Shogun-sama, being able to save the team. But Shogun will lose their life there to start, so having to play careful now, as Stevenson is now getting pressured upon. Unfortunately, the last one alive here is going to be the Ramatra. They're going to have to back off of that fight there as they get themselves regrouped. So now Stevenson has to try to go for a re-engagement here, and they're at 50% in counting this deficit. I mean, we're going to take a look at Blake, who's on the flank, doing a bit of poke, but gets pulled down in the open. In a really bad position there, getting caught out in the open. Not a good situation. Losing your Mercy as well. There's just so much damage coming in. I don't think the Naval Academy was really ready for Stevenson's wrap. They're able to really shut down on anyone making that escape. A great pull there by Not Y2K. So now going to be taking a look back over here at the Naval Academy. Dan1804 is going to be looking to try to engage with this Kasune rush. It's the only ult available, as Strawberry is still working to build up that bomb again. As for the side of Stevenson, they have lots of ults to work with here. The question is, what will they use first? It's 50% in counting here. They're halfway through holding this point, while Naval Academy has to try to see if they can make some pressure to regain the point. Going to be a little bit hard, as you're going to see the Ramatra pushing the start. They're trying to see if they can get this Diva. Mercy does activate the Valkyrie here, as Blink for some reason goes in for the dive. I'm not sure that was really planned, but it is what happens there. They get to trade on the Not Y2K, and now they're going to be looking for something extra. Legend here with the overclock finds a huge railgun shot, being able to hit one headshot after the other continuously, finding themselves some value there. As played a little smart here, doesn't have a lot to live with, gets just quits by Blink here. Reaper trying to stay alive on point, has an opportunity to ult, needs to just find a moment to activate it. Looking for the opening here, gets stuck with the stickies. Window's been activated as they're teleporting in, going into the backline with the Death Blossom, finds one, and now going in for more. Flyaway Archer having to play it safe with The Wraith there, able to find the 2, and they're on the hunt for more. Gets rid of the copy as well, finds the Echo, and is just continuously taking down the opposition here. I mean, this is phenomenal work they're doing right now. They're able to turn something that was a very dire situation into their success and win the point. Round 1 going to Stevenson.
Score 0-1.
Now the question here is, for those of you that are part of the Naval Academy, fans of the United States Naval Academy, you're probably asking yourself, well, why did that happen the way it did? And it's a bit of a judgment call, really. I think some of the mistakes we're seeing came out of the DPS over aggressive on the flanks or in the front line when they shouldn't have been. I think that caught them out very poorly, and Stevenson took huge advantage of that. The other thing is Stevenson's very fast compared to the United States Naval Academy, so what you're going to see is that Stevenson can rotate and engage their opponents a lot quicker than the Naval Academy can. I mean, take a look at this. They're both getting the point, but who's on point first? Why, it's Shogun, in fact. Playing out in the open here, taking a lot of damage, but still applying so much pressure. I mean, you're going to be seeing them just constantly go in with aggression. Right now, the Naval Academy just cannot make a pushback. Strawberry trying to see what pressure they can get. Almost flies off the point. Blink, unfortunately, gets boofed off due to getting just zoned. I mean, they're playing it tremendously well against the Naval Academy here for Stevenson, being able to constantly apply pressure as they are. I mean, you're seeing that D.Va taking way too much damage in the front line there. The Saiyan mech really needs to try to play a bit more sustainability, unfortunately, because as they're now as Baby D.Va, as they're called, they're looking to get this remake here. They don't die, so that's great for them to have their mech back, but they already use boosters. This is very dangerous because you have a very wasteful DM. You're trying to eat a whole lot of damage that's unnecessary, and you get another D-Mech. You lose another tank setup here. Now they do take out 2 from Stevenson. That's going to be the support lineup that the Mustangs are down. So Naval Academy here is now just cleaning up shop with whoever's left, while Stevenson's going to be retreating out. With 44% in counting, the Naval Academy just turned it over. So now they're really hoping to apply some extra pressure. Especially going to be coming out from the Echo here with Kami Kazuisu. I am going to butcher that name all night long, so I do apologize. But Kami here, looking to play towards the side, actually takes a lick of damage. They're looking for the mecha, finds the kill on Flyaway Archer on the corner there. Very cheeky play, but one that is quite effective. And right now you're seeing ults are being invested here by the side of the Naval Academy. It's able to stop a fight from Stevenson, buying time for the Naval Academy to gain some more percentage on the board. However, Stevenson, they can come back quick compared to the Naval Academy. So if they lose one, Stevenson just needs to be able to press against them. And what you're going to be seeing here is with all this slowing and positioning here, Blink is out in the open, taking a lot of front line here, gets railgunned on out as the back line here is getting jumped. Stevenson going to be able to adjust to it. I think that's a bit of a fat finger, but they're going to be making their way forward here. Just able to get on out with that Kasune rush, but they do turn the point here. Stevenson now in control of the point, loses Flyaway Archer, and now you're going to have Ramatra and Baptiste window activated here. Has to be careful for the soldier, having to play for the life here, as Stevenson is actually able to live momentarily. Getting that immort off is crucial towards their livelihood. They do lose one. Shogun is the only one with ult here, but unfortunately does not get the beat drop off. Instead, Stevenson's going to be holding on to that beat drop for the next fight. And with the copy already utilized by Kami, that's going to be an ult wasted there, unfortunately, like we saw from Flyaway Archer with the Death Blossom. So a bit of a trade back for both. Now you're going to have 2 ults available from the side of the Naval Academy, while the Mustangs here are going to be rolling in with Legends, Overclock, and Shogun's beat drop. So they're looking to try to play for some poke here. They're starting to get a bit aggressive Just waiting for the angle here. Overclock's been activated. Now they're just looking to try to get some kills. They get the turn of the point here. Valkyrie's going to be activated as well, but Stevenson is losing a large amount of numbers. Beat drop's not going to be felt by Legend there. That's only Lucio who's able to utilize it. Trying their darndest just to stall for a point here. Lucio has to make the touch for the overtime here. That's going to be a bit difficult as they cannot in time. So that's going to turn over to the Naval Academy, earning round 2.
Score 1-1.
So the series is set at 1-1 now on the first map. It's a pretty tight game that we have going to start here. Stevenson definitely had their mismatch of mistakes there between fat fingers on Q and mistimed ults. They're also seeing that the target focus is all over the place. They're not really following the same target here. So you really got to be focused in on trying to stop the Naval Academy from getting the space. But we're going to be seeing some more swaps coming on now. Cracker Nuts on the Zenyatta and Dan 1804 on the Moira. It's an interesting lineup with Blink going over to the Tracer. It's very dive specific, as you're going to be seeing Legend swap over to Sombra. I mean, a great idea here for the Hacks. Shogun overstays their positioned welcome. And it's not a great case for Stevenson right now, being down a player as they are. However, they do get the hack off. They're able to stay alive. If they can try to just tempo themselves and not play too far forward, they should be able to live. But that's proven to be difficult, as you're seeing people get staggered on up between Shogun and Legend. Getting taken out on the front line, not a good situation to be in. So, with so much at hand here, Stevenson's now going to be the one struggling to try to make this push on point. However, we do see the swap over to Soldier, and if they're able to focus their targets well enough, they should be able to make their way on in. But that's proven to be quite difficult, as you're seeing from the side of the Naval Academy. They're starting to get some pressure on the backline there. However, it's not looking too hot, if I dare say, imagine. Tracer's trying to stay alive on point, has that Zenyatta to assist, but not really to make the play they're looking for. Diva just going to be able to make this remake around the side. They stay on point. They're stalling it out tremendously well, as Reaper's in the back line here, playing with a world of hurt. They just turned the point, forced the Zenyatta to use their ult, as Zenyatta jumps into the pit. What is this? What is going on here? Blink falls into the pit, Zenyatta jumps to the pit, but the team is staying alive. Why is the Naval Academy staggering themselves? You see the swaps made, but this is not a good situation if you are the side of the Naval Academy, because you're really just staggering yourselves out right now, especially with Kami here playing so aggressively forward as they are. I mean, you wasted that copy way too early, and you lose Moira. Moira jumped into the pit again. What is this decision making here? I don't know what I'm witnessing from the side of the Naval Academy. I see there's just a lot of miscommunication going on now, and not really planned execution on their movement. And it's really costing them, I tell you. Well, Stevenson has almost every ult in the bank. Oh my goodness! Shogun with the boop! No way Shogun gets away with that, almost having Blink as well, but they're just able to make that escape. Their Blink with the pocket here, trying to see if they can shoot down Legend, but Legend is just not one to be trifled with. I mean, with such movement, such agility, they're a constant threat in the field. So you're going to be seeing that the Naval Academy really needs to start getting something going, as we're going to be seeing Annihilation make their way on in. Get stopped immediately here. They're looking to see how they can tell themselves. No way. Moira gets moved off the map. He gets it done again. No way. That's another one in the dust. We got to see one more. Can Shogun get it done again? We're looking for the side here. Tries for it. Almost had it. Not quite there. But they do get the job done, finding their picks. They're going to stop that res and be able to secure this first point here with the follow-up on the last of the Naval Academy units. They try as they might, but they really just could not outlast this push here. Stevenson gets map number 1. I mean, real big come together moment there for Stevenson. Being able to come back from that second point to just dominate the third in what was a very rocky start. I mean, just the boop off the map here alone was stupendous on the part of Shogun Soma. We're going to be hitting a quick break, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to our second map. It's going to be Havana, and there's been a bit of swaps here. So, Stevenson's now going to be on Team Blue, while the United States Naval Academy is on Team Red. It's the Mustangs versus the Goats. As we're going to be seeing here, Stevenson's going to be on the defense first. Naval Academy here, having lost their first map, has chosen Havana. So they're going to be going into this here with a more ranged kind of composition here. We do see that there's the swaps between the Widowmaker and the Bastion. A lot of pressure to be applied. As for Stevenson, they're going to be playing around towards the ground here, looking to try to see if they can apply some extra pressure on this range. For Stevenson, this could be really good. However, one thing they are not really anticipating is that they're giving themselves away for this. They can see the Reaper, they can see the Soldier, and the Ramatra here. So they know what they're going to face. Let's keep an eye on Blink here, just to see how they're going to engage this fight. They'll be looking for that shot, just misses it. Legend, now very aware of the Widowmaker's presence, is going to try to be playing this a lot safer. As Stevenson's going to be looking to see if they can apply some extra pressure just around the corner here, just trying to see where they can poke as possible. Bastion now having the swap over is going to apply some extra pressure to this front line. Stevenson has to care for themselves. Just not going to be playing too close here. Archer could get a little closer on the hunt if they choose to, but they're trying to play it safe on the corner right now. Not a bad strategy from Stevenson, but especially when you have a lot of frontline loss there. So Stevenson, now having lost their tank, needs to back off of this fight here. There's a lot of healing output coming from the side of the Goats here, from the Naval Academy. And you're going to be seeing them try to play a bit more of a safe range play. D.Va's going to be rushing their way on in. An interesting strategy to be said here, especially going as fast and aggressive as they are. As for the side of the Mustangs here, they're going to try to see if they can apply some extra pressure onto the tank. They're a little scared to make this push up, but needs to start making some distance. That's going to be a D.Va D-Mech to start. Gets the sleep off, but now Y2K trying to be careful with their positioning, watching out for the Bastion. Does not hit their marks, unfortunately, for Bastion. And Reaper will find that first kill on the Cracker Nuts. So right now you're going to be seeing that the Goats here, they really need to find a regroup. You have the mech coming back here. Legend is down and out. So now going in with Blink's ult. Goes in with the spam. Finding some great damage, but not really getting any kills here. Supports trying to see what they can do to keep the team alive throughout all this spam here. Either one could get into this. Has to play it a little smart here. Just waiting to get this push in here. 1-2 loss from the side of the Mustangs. Make that 3 on the remake here, and the Mustangs are starting to fall one by one, as you're going to be seeing the Naval Academy be able to go in and win that fight there. Off the D.Va bomb, off the overclock, the Sune Rush, and Nano. So while they invested very heavily, and Stevenson has ults ready for them in the making here. So you really got to be seeing how are they going to really address this push here. I mean, you have D.Va pushing up to this high ground recklessly, mind you, and Reaper coming into the backline with the Death Blossom, just all over the backline there. Being able to find that first kill there as they get the D-Mech with it. So they're really just hunting for follow-up kills here. Going to be playing for a bit of poke right now. Has to play it safe here with the distance. It's a lot of pressure they're engaging with, but only using one ult is a great startup there for the side of the Mustangs. Now what's this going on to the side here? You're seeing a flank here by the Reaper, having to back off a bit from the amount of damage. Sombra swap now from Ami. Going to be having the miss there on the artillery strikes, but loses both of them here as the Sombra gets traded up. Now Y2K here, not living for very long as they finally get this payload progressing here for Stevenson, or for the Naval Academy, excuse me. So right now you're going to be seeing that while the goats here are being able to make this pressure, it's still 2.5 minutes remaining. Getting that sleep and pressure in, finding legends, going to really set them up well for this engagement here. You could be seeing a setup with the window, however, trying to push on in. Tommy here on the flank, trying to get some extra damage going. They're going to be seeing if they can flank Watermelon with a coordinated dive. Finds the kill and going in. So he comes on out as legend. Probably some pressure to Kami here, but not really a whole lot to be fought against at the moment. Stevenson taking a whole lot forward, but not finding any kills. So now, being with their backs up against the wall, 3 minutes 25 seconds remaining, we're heading on over to third point here. I mean, these swaps from the DPS have been very effective so far. And with all these hacks coming on out onto the megas and the minis, really definitely going to be showing. Zarmer here just trying to be a distraction, coming in with the bomb, finds no one. An overly aggressive bomb with no value and the artillery barrage with it. Stevenson having to play it safe here. Can they live? No siree. They lose their tank there, and they need to really just try to play for an engagement. Right now you're seeing Stevenson starting to suffer the way that we saw the Naval Academy struggling on the first map, where they're getting staggered on out. And with the constant virus going through time and time again, it's just a matter before we see the EMP come through. With 2.5 minutes remaining, gonna be seeing a lot of pressure going into this. Just waiting to see how they're going to be receiving this. Watermelon taking a bit of pressure to start here. Blink almost completely uncontested as now Y2K gets knocked off the map. So, going to be seen here with the B drop. Could be countered here by the EMP, but they don't use it as such. Instead, Legend's going to be coming in with the overclock. Gets one there with the artillery barrage as the EMP is activated. By the way, Archer trying to play to live this as Alpha does not use it. As it's going to be the United States Naval Academy capping with all 3 points in round number 1.
Complete. Score 0-3. Switching sides.
So now they're with a minute 38 on the board. Stevenson has to match, going all the way to third point to go into overtime rounds. It's a tall ask for the Stevenson to meet. And it's going to be a question of, can they really provide extra pressure against their opponents right now? And I would dare say that it's up in the air, right? Stevenson looking a little shaky on the defense, while their attack could be completely different. I mean, especially with what we're seeing here. You have the Torb, you have the Widowmaker on the defense. Interesting selections from the side of the Naval Academy. While from the Mustangs here, no changes really. Legend's going to be going over the Soldier, but otherwise everyone else is keeping to the same bread and butter. So it's really going to come down to execution here. I mean, going to be taking a look here at Stevenson. Stevenson trying to see if they can spot anyone. Doesn't really have any great angles compared to the side of the Naval Academy, who has a pocket on Widowmaker here.
5, 4.
So really going to be looking for this engagement here to start. Trying to scan for opponents. Not really finding the shots here to start. Gets the one, but that's going to be about it. Diva is going in heavily aggressive right now against this front line, and not really feeling the pressure right now from the Mustangs here. Legend taking a lot of damage and getting taken out themselves. So we're going to be seeing that Stevenson has to try to get this Diva off point right now. Try to provide some extra pressure. Making the immediate swap over the Sombra here. They're just trying to find some angle to really stop this Diva. Getting that first virus though, could go for an almost immediate D-mech there. Having to play it very safe. Almost gets caught out by the Torbjorn. Another hack goes on out. Being able to start there. Has to play it very, very safe here right now. Stevenson's getting very pressured out right now. Not getting a whole lot of help for Watermelon as they're constantly pouring on the pressure. We're really going to be seeing that with this push in here, can Stevenson actually live for these fights? They're getting pressure done, but they're not finding a whole lot of kills, if that makes sense. Instead, they're getting themselves kind of pressured on out here. Now, thankfully, you do see that Shogun is able to make a kill on the Strawberry there and make that follow-up. With the Widowmaker down as well, Blink not being able to be in that fight. You're definitely going to be seeing the pressure against the Goats right now, trying to stay to live, but not really making it. Eva goes in for the touch here to start, and they're on, but not for long, as they're going to be seeing that first a bit of pressure. Beat drop goes out. It is felt, but it's not really being utilized well by the defense here to be able to live against the bomb point Blink. So now Stevenson being down so many players, they really just need to be able to focus on regrouping here. A minute 40 remaining here. Stevenson not in the greatest of spots at the moment. So really going to have to see how they make their push up here. They see the Sombra immediately going for that dive there. They're trying to see who they can find. I mean, Legend completely uncontested right now. Could easily go in with an EMP as they're going to be making their way on in. Going to be going in immediately with that ult there. Finds the first hack. They're going to be starting themselves on up. Archer, the first one on down yet again. Really going to have to try to find some outline pressure. EMP is activated, going on in, finds an immediate kill, trying to get the D.Va, but D.Va's just living. They're not getting the D-Mech right now. So it's not really looking good for Stevenson. They're taking these fights way too long, and it's really taking a toll on them here. So now coming down to the last 30 seconds, it's looking rough for the Mustangs here. They gotta really try to make some plays. Be looking for this engagement here. Reaper has his ult ready to go in, just has to commit to the push here. Has to play the split, just able to make that leg, but gets shut down immediately. Reaper ult denied. So now Stevenson here, really just with one tank left, not going to be able to make much of it, as the United States Naval Academy will take map number 2. I mean, a really, really big comeback there for the Naval Academy, being able to actually shut down Stevenson's hold. So they're definitely feeling pretty good about themselves going into this here. I mean, a great shutdown from the Death Blossom, taking out the back line, just one after the other, just consistency all the way through. We're going to hit a quick break, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back into it again, as we're going to be heading on over to Runasapi. Now, we are going to be on the push map here. You have your sides that you're going to be getting here. As checkpoints are reached, closer spawns are granted. Using Matt the bot here, Matt's going to be trying to push the barricade with whoever's escorting him. There's 10 minutes in the time bank for either side to get it to its final destination. Whoever does get it to the final destination will automatically win. Otherwise, it comes down to whoever pushes the farthest. So, we're going to be seeing here that from either side, you have Stevenson on Team Blue, Naval Academy on Team Red. So, really going to be looking to see how they play this engagement. Legend's going to be actually playing on the Hanzo here, while you're going to be seeing Curie and Juno from the Naval Academy. They constantly are switching their healers, which is an interesting kind of going. And Kami here playing on the Symmetra. I think they're looking to just beam down their targets while Strawberry eats all the damage. So Stevenson's going to see this going in and have to prepare for it accordingly. Going to be starting with this engagement here. Turrets just going up to the sky. Probably going to be seeing them on the moon at some point. As you're going to be seeing a lot of pressure going on out here from Stevenson. Diva's actually playing a bit in danger here, taking a lot more damage than we saw prior on Stevenson's attack from last map. And with this point really contested at the moment, Diva's trying to make their roll in here, trying to see if they can assist Blink on the damage. Blink trying their best just to stay alive. Sim's going to be TPing in the backline here. Kami doing a bit of damage, but not finding any kills. Stevenson's giving up quite a bit of space here at the moment, as Kami is going to be the first one to fall there on the flank. And now Stevenson's actually going to get very aggressive here towards the Naval Academy's backline, trying to see if they can rush the front line here with the Diva, who's really just taking a lot of pressure, but not really taking all of it. We're going to be having Blink here getting in with the overclock. Beat drop is activated in response there. A great response by Stevenson to be able to actually address the overclock here. They're trying to get rid of Strawberry. They do so successfully. So really picking up the pieces there. You were seeing Stevenson likes to play it slow. They like to play it a bit back. They like to take their time. And Legend just with the juiciest of headshots. Dan 1804 was not ready for the medieval times. Looking in for again. Can we see another one? Can we see another shot? Just waiting to see just a beautiful hit to come on out from Legend here. Dragons is ready. It can just go in immediately to actually zone them if they desire. But right now, Stevenson gets the checkpoint for free. TP is taken on out. Symmetra is just down and out in the backline. Legend with another headshot coming in with the Dragons here. Dragons going to do huge amount of damage. They lose Naval 2K. So that's going to be a little bit of a drawback there to start. Finds another headshot. Legend's just on the ball here with damage. Constantly being a threat to everyone that comes by. Finally taking out the threat there. Stevenson's going to be able to make a regroup here with Legend being the only one down. But they have ults available. They could easily turn this fight back around here if they tempo properly here. We're going to be looking into this engagement. Do they actually engage it properly or not? Blink taking a lot of damage, a little too much for their own good as they get taken on out. Could be seen Flyway Archer goes to the back line with the teleport, with the Death Blossom. It finds a triple kill with the D-Mech to boot. Are you kidding me right now? I mean, this is stupendous gameplay here we're seeing from the Mustangs right now. I mean, like a complete transformation from the escort map. I don't know what they're putting in their coffee, but it seems to be working. So now with another swap around here, Crackernuts is now on Mercy while Dan's on Moira. They got up the Curie Juno comp, which means there's no orbital cannon after use from 2 fights ago, and now they're trying to play for Valkyrie. So no Kitsune Rush. Not really a great situation for the side of the Naval Academy here. And Diva's in no better shape. Just missing their one shot there. But Diva just still taking all the damage in the world. Gonna be bomb coming on out there. Beautifully blocked, but not gonna be finding much else. Just gets annihilated through. Never mind a mech, you're just gone. Coming in with the Dragons. Hits its mark there. Beautifully executed. And now going to be running in forward here. Lucio's getting a bit aggressive. Has that beat drop rain available. They could try to zone him here. Strawberry forced the swap over to the Ramatra. I'm not sure if they're too confident with their decision there, but it's going to be one they have to utilize going into this fight. So both tanks going to be even on their ultimate economy here. Bot now taken back on over by the side of the Naval Academy, but for how long, truly? I dare say that Stevenson's just barely staying alive here. Able to really sit on this speed drop here, using it when needed, but not going to be going in with it. Shogun does not use the beat drop for this fight here. Instead, going to let that copy just play its way on out here, as Archer is trying to run all the way back. A very dangerous game, I dare say, but Stevenson will be able to make the regroup here as the bot now makes it to the checkpoint. Stevenson already with that close spawn there has a great advantage for an engagement here, but just needs to be able to really make the push. Finding the hits on the Kami here, could really try to find the engagement to start here. Kami having to play it a little safer, same with Legend. He's a little worse for wear. And that is going to hurt them bad, as Reaper's actually going to be coming into this backline here. Death Blossom is coming on up. And they're looking to see what they can do of value here. Reaper has to be smart here. They're trying to stall for point at the moment. Going to die just after getting the Death Blossom here. Now looking to get a re-engagement here right now. A lot of spam coming out from the side of the Goats here. While the Mustangs are going to really be looking, can they stop this capture on checkpoint? Or are they going to be giving it up and playing for the regroup? I believe they're going to be playing it for safety right now. Stevenson now going to be making their way on in here with Not Y2K leading the charge. Legend having the help and support of his team there. Coming in with the Death Blossom, finds a double, and they're going to be cleaning it on up quickly with only one ult utilized, winning them that fight, shutting down the Valkyrie. Stevenson still has the lead here at the start with 3 minutes remaining. It's really going to come down to how they play these last 3 minutes. Tempo, tempo, tempo. So important into this fight here. How are both sides going to really handle themselves? Window's been activated. That's going to be a huge amount of damage to deal with right now. Right from the get-go there, as Legend's going to be able to find that first immediate pick. Not on just one, not two, but looking for the third there. Could they get it? Not quite, but it doesn't matter as the bot continues its progress. Not Y2K really just continuing the push here, maintaining this aggressive force, like Fortright space here at the moment. Looking really good for the side of Stevenson. Goes in with the Dragons here. Dragons are going to do a huge amount of damage to Strawberry. Strawberry's going to be the first to fall there. That is no annihilation to go in with as Stevenson continues its onslaught. So you're going to be seeing how they can try to play this engagement here. Goes in with the copy, but annihilation has been activated here. The beat drops to match this fight here as the copy is just shut on down. Lucio trying to play to live here. They lose their Ramatra, they lose their Reaper. Shogun trying to see if they can get out alive here. Running away they go. Cannot help Watermelon as Lucio is going to be the last one out. But the Naval Academy really was able to turn around there in the last minute and a half. However, it took a little bit to really secure that. They had to use Overclock. They had to use Copy. They had to use Coalescence. That's 3 ults that had to be utilized into that fight, so they cannot go into this next one. The only ones available coming up is going to be the Kasune Rush from Cracker Nuts and Strawberry with their own annihilation. However, things could get real dicey real fast as Blink is forced down. Reaper going into this backline, and they're continuing onto the Ramatra. Ramatra actually taking a lot of damage to start. Having to play it safe, play it back. You have Legend duking it out with Blink, as both sides are really just looking for an opportunity to make the push here. Reaper going on in, going to be taking a bit of damage, choosing not to ult to actually save their abilities here. They find their first kill. Window's been activated, so they have a lot of spam going in the start. Legend trying their darndest to stay alive. They're able to actually force Blink and Strawberry back. Here comes the Annihilation to start here. Mortality utilized, but Strawberry gets no value out of that Annihilation. Being able to shut down the overclock as well. Cracker Nuts trying to play to live, but just gets staggered on out. Warrior's going to be the last one alive here, running back to point. They're actually letting the point sit here because it's going to stay the longest. They zone out the Echo, and that's going to be it. Stevenson takes map number 3. Really coming out on top there. I mean, a real big comeback. Stevenson able to find themselves. But Dan 1804 with the play of the game here. I think it's really came down to utilizing that coalescence and being able to follow up with the team, providing just a huge output of heals in order to try to keep the team alive. But we're going to be in for another break. Potential last map. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back into it to what could be our final map tonight. So really excited to see how we're going to do this. Welcome to Servasa. So going to be going through here. This is Flashpoint, as we're going to be seeing teams play it King of the Hill style as we did on the first map, but the point captures faster. The question is, which team will come out on top here?
Ready for battle.
We're going to be seeing here that Stevenson is going to be keeping with what they were running on Runa Sapi, while for the side of the Naval Academy, United States Naval Academy is going to swap it over to what they were running on Havana. I think they want to try to utilize that as their comp going into this fight, and it's an effective one at that, but will it be effective here on this King of the Hill?
5,
Let's find out, shall we?
3, 2, 1.
So going to be coming up quick here to start, waiting to see how both sides will engage this fight. Really going to be exciting to see how they move themselves. Going to be taking a look at Kami. Kami starts their scouting in here, looking to see how they can push. While for the side of Stevenson, they are already on to point. So you're going to be seeing them actually being able to really set up towards this high ground to low ground, play a bit of spam, and be careful out in that open, because they know they're dealing with the Sombra as well as the Bastion. Going in with some more shots, finds the sleep, but Stevenson's going to be able to stay alive and cap that first point there. So it's looking really good for them to start. They know the Sombra is there, they're addressing it, but they're not going to overcommit to it as they see themselves. Reaper has been hacked here, but does not take any damage. Watermelon's going to be the first one to go on down here, in fact. While from the side of Stevenson, they're still just kind of poking this out. They're playing it safe here to start, and not really trying to engage this front line. They're able to get it up towards 50% in counting, and be able to actually hold it long enough before the point turns. They have a great number of ults to go in here, but so does the goats. The goats here have the Diva Bomb, they have the Artillery Barrage, the Nano, the Kitsune Rush, while Stevenson's going to be coming in with Dragons, Annihilation, and Beat Drop. So we're going to be looking for this engagement here. Pointing towards the side, gain that first fashion to just kind of wait out the form before they make their engagement. Form is down as they're going to be trying to actually teleport in from the behind. They find Legend to start. Bomb goes on out, gets rid of the Immortality Field. Now Y2K feeling a lot more of that pressure as they get mech killed from behind. So Stevenson really starting to feel some pressure here on their back line, as they're not going to be able to make another touch here going forward. Unless they really try to go for this point, but it's not really going to be worth it. And all right, Shogun's going to be the first to die there. That means no beat drop to be utilized into this fight, as they're touching once again. Stevenson really overstaying their welcome, starting to get killed off one by one, as the first point goes to the Naval Academy. Sombra here really actually constantly playing in the invisibility here, having to be safe here. Oh, they get themselves discovered, but they did quite a bit of damage to Reaper, who's trying to actually regroup. So right now, Stevenson here just has to focus on making sure they don't get taken out themselves. I'm going to be set up by Kami here to take them out from behind. That's going to be your hack coming on out, as Legend's going to be the first one down and out. Watermelon gets hacked as well there, but with the follow-up there, this could be proving a bit fatal for the side of the Naval Academy, as they're not going to be able to make a touch here. Reaper going in for the backline Death Blossom, but gets red with the Sleep Dart. So now going to have to play it a little safer. EMP goes on out with the Kitsune Rush here. Not looking too hot for Stevenson, as this point will turn. United States Naval Academy here is able to make this point really playing in their favor with this Diva comp. I think they found their chemistry, and they're trying to utilize it going into this. No more funny business, no more random swaps. They're going to use the Sombra, they're going to use the Bastion. They're just constantly going to play for pressure here. So, having been discovered by the Hanzo here, could move in the start. Has to be able to find this engagement here. Playing a bit of a dangerous game right now. Stevenson slow on the rotations. But they get their wall off there onto the D.Va, but they have to play it safe to start here. They live and kill the D.Va, in fact. Going in with the Dragons as well here. Dragon's going to clear the point of anyone contesting the start as Legend finds the kill onto Bastion. Just barely able to stay alive here. Legend really playing hurt, but actually able to get on out. May playing a dangerous game as well. Being the frontliner here, having to deal with a lot of damage to start here. They're trying to see where they can go, but not really finding much push. Annihilation comes on out. They're trying to see if they can just provide some extra pressure. Do they actually have any follow-up, however? No siree. Y2K is going to get eliminated there at the start as they lose one of their supports here. So Stevenson here losing another team fight here to ults and backline carnage. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make a touch here. It's not looking good as the points are coming up against them. Can anyone make it? No siree. They're going to have to play for a regroup here as they back on out.
Next flashpoint, ruins.
Catch you later.
So now heading on over for the ruins here. Stevenson really in a bad position here, being down 2-0 in the fight and constantly getting pushed back. Right now it seems that Stevenson's very split. They're not really able to kind of keep together at the moment. Constantly getting pressured on out. The Ana, however, gets caught on out and now going to be that first one down. This is a great situation here for Stevenson to actually live through. Watermelon taking a lot of pressure from the front line, or the back line there, as they do make their swings, but the point is going to be earned by the United States Naval Academy. Seems that right now a lot of what's happening is that the back line is not coordinating with the front line here for Stevenson. I see that they're really struggling to play together. As for the Naval Academy, they're still just constantly playing their comfort. The backline poke, teleport away for invisibility, and then just repeat until we get our EMP. That's going to be that first freeze sent away. Bomb goes out, kills 2 with the remake on it as well. Right now Stevenson here, not looking too hot. They're coming down to last fight territory. So it's going to be all or nothing in this fight here. Can they actually make a touch? Gonna have to be looking to get towards point here right now. Goes in with the B drop to engage. He was gonna get that D-Mech as they're actually shooting them down with the window. It's actually a complete shutout at the moment. Gets rid of that D-Mech there as well. Not going to be able to find any sort of value like that. And Stevenson actually is able to bring it back around the start. But a lot was lost in those fights there. I mean, you have people that are trying to come back from points. They need the pickup here, but they're not having it at the moment. As Stevenson's just constantly getting barraged by this push here on the engagement. They're going to have to focus on the front line, however, as they're going to be engaging for this point. And a lot of pressure going forward here. Definitely going to be seeing, can Bastion find their picks? First one would be found there as the artillery barrage goes on in. Can it find any hits? No siree. Actually does not get the kills they're looking for. D.Va here in a bit of hurt. Does get D-Mexed in the end. Flyway trying to stay alive but struggling to do so. Coming to the Visor here. Visor going to be able to get a kill. They're looking for another. Can they make the touch? No siree, and that's going to be the United States Naval Academy taking map number 4. I mean, this has just been 1 to 1 to 1 to 1, just back and forth the entire night right now. Legend here with the play of the game, utilizing that window to just shut down anybody from pushing on in. Looking really good there for Stevenson, but we're going to hit a quick break. We'll be right back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back once more for the last match of the night here. We're back on good old Kings Row. The sides have swapped once more. It's going to be the United States Naval Academy on Team Blue on the defense to start, while Stevenson will be on Team Red for the attack. It's all coming down to this. 2-2 in the series so far. Whoever wins this map will be the victor of tonight's match. So it's really going to be important for both sides to really focus in on this play here. This is a hybrid map, which means they have to not only cap the point as the attackers, but then escort it all the way to the end destination. Simple on paper, but in execution, we'll have to see. We do see the swap from Kami off the Sombra onto the Symmetra again. Will it prove effective here? We'll have to see. I mean, Symmetra's not bad for this point, but a very passive Symmetra is not an engaging one. So that can prove to be very bad for the side of the Ghosts. Right now, Stevenson going to be forcibly pushing on this D.Va here. Find some extra pressure to start as they start to make their way on in. D.Va here taking a lot of damage to start. As you're going to be seeing Teleport come out from behind. Not going to be finding anyone as they lose people. So right now, Stevenson here is getting taken out one by one here, as we're looking to see if there's going to be any additional pushes. The swap here from Reinhardt now. Really liking this pick here. I mean, right now, Stevenson could have a free engagement with Shatter if they're able to build it on up. But it's really going to come down to the, do they build it? Got a lot of damage to push in with, and got to be very careful as they also easily lose their barrier. So Ryan is a very, very vulnerable state here to start. Going to back on up here to start, trying to see if they can play to live in these engagements. So playing around this corner, playing on up here. We're going to be looking for the rotation to start. Sim just constantly playing for poke here. Not really engaging these fights as mentioned. Goes in for the pin, hits the Bastion. Bastion receives the nano. And actually a whole lot more. There's a lot of damage going in here with the beat drop. They could actually take this on back. Stevenson utilizing that beat drop, find the pick onto Bastion here as they get the D.Va as well. They're going to be looking for some more to start, trying to see how they can make their push here. Seems that they're actually going to be able to make this cap on point without anyone to contest it. Swapping off the Bastion here onto Sojourn. They're probably going to be trying to play to see if they can burn out the shield. Not a bad strategy here, but will it prove effective enough? Going in for the teleport here to start. Gets spotted immediately, so they're going to be looking for this engagement here. D.Va has bomb with Coalescence to support, but Stevenson themselves has almost every ult in the buff except for beat drop. So they can just play aggressively into their opponents here. The Goats really cannot afford that shatter that comes at them fast and furious. D.Va utilizing that bomb does get a remake to start here, but they're already down supports. They're taking the aggression from the pin, and they just really can't handle this frontline aggression that Stevenson is just unleashing upon them. I mean, I'm at a loss for words here because of how effective this is playing into it. I mean, typically you would see Stevenson struggling against the spam, against the beans, but they're not. Instead, they're actually getting consistent picks. They're able to actually force an overclock to start here. Reaper going on in, gets slept immediately, looking for a potential ult here, goes for it immediately, but gets taken out themselves for the positioning. Not looking too great for the Mustangs at the moment here, as they're going to have to play for a regroup. So after playing a little out of character there, now going to have to play for this regroup here. And see how they do this. Just going to be looking for some extra pressure to push on in, but not going to be seeing a whole lot of action at the moment. Instead, D.Va getting a little too close for comfort here as they're playing around this choke. Ryan starting to get a bit aggressive, looking to see what they can do here. And going for the pin, not able to find anyone. Uses the beat drop to keep him alive very well, but they are utilizing ults with both supports going on in their Stevenson's just going to have to back up for another regroup here. Starting to take a lot of damage here. Stevenson, unfortunately, is in a really bad position right now. Can't really afford to be playing where they are, but they will be able to make a regroup here to actually reaggress. They took out Blink, so that's going to be Soldier down. Seems like there's a DC potentially in play. Shatter goes on out as well in the middle of this fight. Oh, shoot, as we're going to be going into the pause here. So we have, unfortunately, a pause as there's a DC. So we're going to be waiting for Strawberry to actually come on back, which is really unfortunate for them to start. So not looking too great here for the Naval Academy. They're starting to lose their footing. Stevenson finding it, but to give credit where credit's due, they're holding Stevenson for a pretty good amount of time right now, and it's working well for them. So we're going to be seeing what they're going to do when we come back from the break. All right, we are back. Teams are ready, and we're going right on in here. After that DC there, you're not going to be really having any D.Va bomb, unfortunately, for the side of Strawberry, as they're going to have to regroup for this. That crash really hurting their team to start here. They're possibly not even going to be able to make a touch, especially after that clean team kill there that they earned against the Naval Academy here to start. So right now, Stevenson can really just try to play it smart here. There's 2.5 minutes remaining, and they're looking to see how they can engage this last fight. There's a swap back over the Bastion here after getting killed off the Soldier. TP has been utilized and eliminated here. So now you're going to be seeing Symmetra in a world of hurt gets eliminated from the get-go. Window's been activated as well as Fire Strike lands its mark. This is a huge plus for the side of the Mustangs. They can get aggressive here on their opponents and push them if they choose to, but they're not going to. They're afraid to overcommit, which is a very understandable situation, but can be very dangerous having given up so much space. So now going to be looking here, seeing that Bastion all coming on in, looking for the Reinhardt, does find the Rhine. As Stevenson's going to have to play for a regroup. Legend just barely able to get on out in time. Nano's ready. The Symmetra wall's ready in comparison to Stevenson's ults. Archer and Legend really could make a play here. They just need to find the positioning. Legend almost finding himself falling into the pit. Very careful to not get taken out like that. So, have to be ready for these engagements here. Looking a little bit dangerous to start. As you're going to be seeing Stevenson getting taken on out after just one coalescence use. They're going to be able to regroup and get back in time. But with 43 seconds remaining, they're really looking to see, can they get a capture of the final point with time remaining? That is the question at hand. Now going to be looking into this here. How are they going to engage this? Flyway has to be very careful not to fall into the pits. Everyone getting behind the shield, being able to live and push their way on in. Shatter goes on out, and they find their first push in. They need to help, not Y2K, but they cannot, unfortunately. Things are starting to look a little bit dastardly here for Stevenson. Cannot be dying with ult here, but they die with that ult. As that's going to be round 1 completed.
Score 0-2. Switching sides.
So unfortunately, Stevenson not going to be able to get that full cap there, as they're going to be going into the side swaps. So right now, really looking at trying to see how they can really set themselves up for success here, if at all, right? Because they're gaining a lot of pressure. They're playing it slow into these engagements, and they're not really following it fast. While the Naval Academy doing a stupendous job holding the line and controlling the tempo of this fight. I mean, it's really coming out well for their favor to be able to do that. So now we're going to be seeing that they're going back to their bread and butter with the Ana and the Moira. But instead, we're actually going to be seeing them swap over to Lucio Moira. The DPS is going to be the same as they've been keeping for these past couple of maps that has been effective. Utilizing the Bastion Sombra. Sombra going for hacks and Bastion trying to light up with the D.Va. D.Va is going to follow up either on their targets that they hack or on whatever is called out. So either D.Va's going to make the call or Sombra's going to make the call. Either way, they love to play with that invisibility, and they're going in the start there. They spot the Sombra at the start. They know where she is, and they're playing for chase. So Sombra's going to have to play it a little smart here. Stevenson needs to make sure they don't get taken out themselves. Said that, you're going to be seeing two taken out from the high ground here. Blink, it's just completely uncontested on this high ground here. As you're going to be seeing a clean sweep against the Mustangs here. Going to be trying to figure out how they can play these engagements. With that, that's going to be the first point capped with 5 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. That is a huge time bank to work with. I mean, the Naval Academy here really does phenomenal with communication, positioning, and callouts over and over and over again. I mean, it just works like a charm. So playing through the shield, Stevenson looks really scared right now. Like, they don't want to play this game here. They don't want to engage this front line, and they don't want to be engaged to it. And no, double standard on words here, but they're really just playing scared from the looks of it. As you're going to be seeing Legend, the first to fall, and the rest just constantly getting barrage there. Sombra playing the front line there, playing a little bit on the side aggressive. Stevenson has to be careful not to get taken out by the barrage, but they're playing to live here. They're staying alive for the moment, but even the Rolling Stone is going to wither away after so much pressure. Shogun trying their best to live. Can Shogun get out? No, siree. As 4 minutes and 30 seconds remain on the clock for the second point here. Legend having swapped over to the Cassidy. Going to be playing an interesting position. I think Legend just spotted the Sombra, but was not able to get a hit. So now you're going to be seeing that Stevenson here has to play for some side, some sort of push here. And it's going to be a tough one. Playing around the side, trying to make their way forward here. Having to play it safe as well. Gets that first pick there to start. With Bastion down, it seems their worries are gone to start here. Being able to just constantly move around. But Sombra here could try to play for a sneaky back cap. I mean, every time she gets a chance, she's going invisible each and every single time. She also constantly gives away her position. Could get killed here, but is able to escape. Stevenson has to be smart with their engagement here. They cannot afford to get taken out in the open. EMP is ready with Diva Bomb. Probably going to be looking for that combo, as well as the speed drop to either keep people alive or push the fight. Looking for this fight here. Has a huge opportunity with the EMP to cancel the beat drop. Finds the combo there and just rushes their way on in. And we're seeing real good strategies coming on out here from both sides. And the Naval Academy is just constantly playing with combos here. Stevenson has to be able to try to play for the same. Otherwise, this is going to be a short map. Looking at this engagement here, you're going to be seeing Diva play in the start with Bastion to assist on the pressure. Really a whole lot to go on, but not much to push back against them. Sombra once again goes towards the sky, trying to see what they can do. Get some kills. Flyaway Archer going to be the first to fall. They activate Window and Annihilation as the fight is starting to get away from the Mustangs here. They make a pick. That's about it here, as you're going to lose another player. It's up to Flyaway Archer. Archer needs to make a touch here. Play it with the Death Blossom. They get one each. Able to make that touch into the last second there. Very dangerous situations. Diva is able to make their escape here to start. As the Legend's trying to duke it on out. Gets the D-Mech to start here, but no health pack to utilize. Not looking too great for them overall. Not noticing the health pack taken here. Shogun just barely able to make it out alive. As Kami is playing around on the flank. Diva Bomb is ready and available. They could just probably send it in, but they're going to be saving to try to shut down the Lucio here. Really coming down to this. Sombra almost having that EMP. No one really to stop him at the moment. And here it comes. Bastion going in with ults. Not going to be able to find anyone, but doing a lot of frontline pressure here with the EMPs. Lucio getting knocked off the map. That means there's no pressure for them to stay alive. Archer trying his darndest to stay on, but cannot in the end. It's a team kill, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to be it for us tonight here as the United States Naval Academy comes out on top. And with our final play of the game here, earned by none other than Blink. I mean, really a central force here for the side of the Goats. And that last kill in there was crucial. Well, like I said, that's going to be it. I will see you all next week on Monday, unless we have a match over the weekend. Bye-bye.